This is Season 8, Episode 169 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.
Sometimes the important thing is not the number of miles you've driven, but what's going on inside your head while driving. The Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast will stimulate your mind and keep you company while on the road. Join us for education, motivation, and inspiration from wherever you may be in our nation. You'll hear roundtable discussions about important information that's impacting our industry. Plus, you'll learn more about new technology, equipment, driving opportunities, safety, and operations. Get driver success and fitness tips to keep you profitable, safe, healthy, as well as entertaining stories from the road. And don't you know, we've all got a few of those. We might be traveling in different directions, but we're all part of one driver community at the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. With your host, trucker Tim Cicerelli.
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 169 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. We drive into the final month of 2025. 2026 is on the horizon, and we have a very special edition of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast for you today. Tim Cicerelli here. You can call me Trucker Tim. Strap in for an episode that is chock full of information that can help you learn more about how you can make a bunch of extra money in 2026. I'm not only talking to you drivers who are already a part of the Stevens Transport team, either as an independent contractor or a company driver. I'm talking to those of you who might be doing your research and listening to this podcast to see if, in fact, you would like to hitch your wagon to a company that is waiting with open arms for you to join our team. Today, we're going to be talking about the history of Stevens Transport, celebrating 45 years in business with zero layoffs, a debt-free foundation, and weekly pay. That should be enough to wet your whistle and get you excited to learn a little bit more. We're also going to be talking to those of you who have an entrepreneurial spirit. Perhaps you'd like to run your own company, maybe build your own fleet, risk-free, no money down, no credit check. Did I pique your interest? Stick around. Plenty of information to tell you about how you can change your life as a member of the Stevens Contractor Program. And we have a brand new initiative called Project Ascend. This involves everybody under the Stevens Transport umbrella. We would like to tap into your expertise, your boots on the ground experience, and how it could pay off big dividends for you. So let's not wait any further and dive right in with our Stevens Roundtable. It's our Stevens Roundtable as we approach the end of 2026, the first week of December. And boy, what a year it's been. And boy, some of the changes that have been made inside Stevens Transport that's going to benefit you, our friends on the other side of the speakers, in particular, our drivers. And those of you who have stumbled across this podcast looking for, a new company to, let's say, hitch your wagon to, a company that's been around for 45 years. We've got some really exciting initiatives at Stevens Transport that we are here to talk about today. And maybe as you look ahead in 2026, this is the place you want to be, and we're going to tell you why right now as we welcome back to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast, Angela Horowitz. Angela, happy holiday season, and thanks so much for making time to be with us at a very busy time.
Well, good morning, Trucker Tim, and happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you and to everybody out there listening today. We're excited about the holiday season, but what we're really celebrating this holiday is our 45th anniversary of Stevens Transport. And that is a milestone that is really permeating throughout our entire organization. It's hard to believe the humble beginnings of 3 or 4 trucks, independent contractors. We started our company with independent contractors and partnering with Lend-Lease up until we reached 300 trucks. We never even owned a truck. We were leasing them just like our contractors do today. So that's how we got our start. But to be here today, named, Transport Topics now in the third position, third largest privately held refrigerated carrier in the nation, is something we're celebrating big. So, it's just a great year. We've had some great additions this year to our leadership team. We've got more people coming in 2026 as we continue our journey of growth and diversification, adding new services, new opportunities for our drivers, for folks inside the house. And it's just a great year. And I can't say it enough. And I don't think any of us can, that we just want to really give a huge thank you to all of our hardworking associates, employees, vendors, partners, customers, contractors, drivers, because it takes a village. We didn't get here alone. There was one vision, but it took a village to carry out that vision. And thanks to all of you for where we are today and where we're headed tomorrow.
Well, Angela, you mentioned 45 years and the humble beginnings and where we are now and where we're headed in the next 45 years. But something I really want to celebrate about those 45 years are some of the components to the growth of this company or things that have taken place that we should shine a light on. How about this? When people are thinking about coming on board, either on the corporate level or perhaps to be a driver, there have been no layoffs in 45 years. That alone should scream from the mountaintops for somebody that's thinking about coming over and joining our team. A bit of security, wouldn't you think?
You can definitely count on financial security, job security, stability, growth, and opportunity at Stevens. And I appreciate you pointing that out because we're incredibly proud of that record. We really go out and we try to attract top talent across the board, give them the tools and training and support they need to be successful, which in turn makes us successful. We've always run very lean, never cared about being the biggest. We care about being the most profitable. We operate with precision, our fingers on the pulse of everything going on at every moment in this 24/7 operation. But yes, with Stevens, you don't have to worry about job security. You don't have to worry about your check clearing the bank every Friday. By the way, we do get paid weekly. It's very unusual. Yeah, we're a debt-free company. We pay cash for just about everything we do. We control our costs with a single source large terminal, although we have many, many outside satellite locations for parking and dropping and swapping and maintenance and things of that nature. But, being a debt-free company with zero debt on our balance sheet positions us to do anything we want today, tomorrow. And so that really is gives us the upward hand. It's a tough market. We've been in a freight recession for the last 3 years, although we see the light at the end of the tunnel coming in 2026. It may not be a fast climb, but it'll be a climb. And there are many folks that won't get to climb that mountain because they're leveraged, highly leveraged. They don't have the financial wherewithal to continue to keep up with the increased cost of operating, which has just skyrocketed when, the rates have fallen due to excess capacity. So being a debt-free company is important for those of you out there looking to make decisions in your future in the logistics, supply chain, transportation world. I highly recommend you look at the history of the carrier, look at their balance sheet, look at their stability and security, because there will be a record in Q1 of 2026 of companies that will exit the marketplace, and there will be many, many fewer carriers entering the marketplace because the barriers to entry are just really very tough, and you need a lot of capital. So please come join our company, and we'd love to have you. And you can apply online, and a representative will reach out to you immediately.
Angela, you mentioned you kind of gave us a little tease as to a segment that we're going to have a little bit later in this episode. You said we run lean, and that's enabled Stevens Transport to grow to the levels it has over the last 45 years. And something that we're very excited about at Stevens Transport, a relatively new initiative. We're going to tell you, our friends on the other side of the speakers, how you can be a part of this initiative to help us continue to run lean, but with a financial incentive for you, our friends who are part of the Stevens team. This is a huge initiative and a wonderful way to feel like you're a part of a team and the growth. And that is coming up in just a few moments. Also, Angela, if you don't mind sticking around on the other side of the very quick commercial break we have, we're going to talk a little bit about our contractor division, how you at Stevens Transport allow people with zero business experience, and even those that are new drivers for the time being, how you could be your own business owner and build a fleet through the Stevens Transport system. But before we get to that, I do want to mention one thing. In the 8 seasons and now almost 9 seasons of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio podcast, we have interviewed hundreds of drivers. And Angela, one of the things that really sticks out to me, aside from the fact that they all say they feel like they're part of a family when they join Stevens Transport, but it's beyond that. It's the upward mobility. Let's say somebody drives for a certain amount of time and they can continue to do that as long as they want to, or there's some upward mobility to leave the cab, leave the road, and then have some opportunities inside the building there at Stevens Transport. Let's talk about that if you wouldn't mind, because that to me is a wonderful carrot to dangle in front of somebody that looks at this. I can stay there for a long, long time.
I can't count the number of people that are highly successful at Stevens that have started out on the road as professional drivers. Understanding how we generate revenue. If the wheels aren't turning, you're not earning, we're not earning. The customer in front of the truck, the customer in back of the truck. I think it's invaluable to our operations, to our future, to have as many people as we can that have started out and understand the dynamics, challenges, difficulties, rewards of the professional driver's side. But when it's time, it's time. And when you want to continue to stay in transportation, you love the industry, many of them have approached us with coming off the road. And what does that look like at Stevens? And what would a pathway look like? We sit with them individually. We interview them on their skills. A lot of times we need to brush up on some of those skills, and we have the training and tools to help them do that. Many of them are very mechanical. Some of them came out of the military and worked on heavy equipment or did that before they got into transportation. So going into Paragon, our diesel support company, is a great pathway, and there's many opportunities. They have over 250 employees over at Paragon. They're open 24/7 just like we are at Stevens. Many of our folks in the operations have been professional drivers, driver managers, driver planners, dispatchers, customer account reps, extended coverage. There's so many different opportunities within the operations. Safety is another big one. And our CDL Driving Academy and our resident instructors, who better to teach the next generation best practices on safety and driving techniques, and the newest, latest technologies that are continuing to advance out there than somebody who's gone through that training, who's mastered it. They then come off the road and they share it. And so you have a very consistent message in your safety and training department. A lot of them gravitate towards that side. And of course, fuel management's a big one. It's a huge cost. You need to understand how to manage fuel costs. And so, we've got a fuel department. We have an hours of service department. I could go on and on, but the opportunities are truly tremendous. We value all of our associates. Our goal is to promote from within. When I can take somebody, whether it's outside of the house, whether they've been even, an on-site terminal manager at one of our other locations, or a dedicated account manager, or a driver, we're constantly looking for opportunities to promote those folks who want to go on and continue to further their career. So we welcome that. We have a proven track record of that. and it's very successful.
Like you said, a plethora of opportunities on the road or off the road to become a part of the Stevens Transport family. Angela, please, if you have time, stick around because we've got two other initiatives where we're very excited about and opportunities for potential drivers and some of our existing drivers to become their own business owner. And then we're going to talk about an incredible initiative called Project Ascend. And this involves everybody under the Stevens Transport umbrella, whether you're out there on the road or inside the building of Stevens Transport, a way to add to your bank account and a way to help Stevens Transport cut costs and to save money and feel like you're a part of this family and this team. That's all coming up on the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.
Now more than ever, truck drivers are true American heroes. The men and women who literally keep America moving by delivering goods across the country. Being a professional driver is a rewarding, financially lucrative, long-term career filled with exciting adventures. A career where you'll never have to worry about job security. If you have your CDL and keep it up, it will sustain you for the long haul. You can see the country, serve your country, and provide a good life for your family. Whether you'd rather haul on a dedicated route or lane, or prefer working with one specific customer, if you want to own your business, we have a program that sets you up for success with all the tools and support you need. We've got opportunities in our intermodal rail division, and have programs to help military veterans transition into trucking careers. We have second generations of drivers whose parents have driven for Stevens, who then trained their children and are now truck drivers. Some are even small fleet owners. So, whatever your dream is, you can achieve it right here at Stevens. If you're looking for a company with a 40-plus year track record that's never had a layoff, and just had the largest pay increase in company history for both new and experienced drivers, Stevens Transport has you covered. We offer the finest tools and technology and provide our drivers with the best state-of-the-art equipment on the market. Our infrastructure will support you both on and off the road. As a driver for Stevens, you become part of our family. Many companies throw the word family around. We're family-owned, family-run, and family-driven. Our 40-plus years of success is built on family. At Stevens, you're not just a number. Our drivers are part of our extended family, and we recognize and honor them every chance we get. If you want to be among the top income earners among professional drivers, if you want great benefits, if you want to have every type of driving opportunity at your fingertips, if you want to be part of a company that will stand behind you and ensure your success, come join the Stevens Transport family today and become an American hero. So, what are you waiting for? Take the first step toward your future career with the best trucking company in America. Become part of the Stevens Transport family today by calling our recruiting department at 1-800-333-8595 or apply online at stevenstransport.com.
Ever wondered what it's like to drive across the country and get paid to see America's breathtaking landscapes? Welcome to life as a team driver with Stevens Transport. The life of a trucker can sometimes feel solitary, but with team driving, you're never alone. Let's dive into how teaming up with another driver can transform your trucking career. So what exactly is team driving? Simply put, it's when two drivers share the responsibilities of operating the same truck. This allows for continuous travel and efficient delivery. Federal regulations require solo drivers to be off-duty for at least 10 consecutive hours after 11 hours of driving. Team driving, however, maximizes productivity by alternating driving shifts, cutting down on overall trip times. By working in shifts, team drivers can cover over 5,500 miles a week. That's more than double what solo drivers can achieve, leading to more priority loads and higher earnings. Efficiency is key. With two drivers, tasks like loading and unloading become quicker and easier. Plus, you'll earn more per mile. One of the greatest perks? You get to choose your driving partner, whether it's a close friend or a new acquaintance. Having a partner on the road makes those long hauls more enjoyable. And what about rest? Team drivers sleep in comfy bunk beds while the truck is moving, allowing for nearly non-stop travel without sacrificing sleep. Safety is another major advantage. With two drivers, there's an added layer of oversight to ensure committed safety. So if you're ready to take your trucking career to the next level, consider team driving with Stevens Transport. It's the perfect blend of companionship, efficiency, and increased earnings. Explore the benefits of team driving and start your adventure today with Stevens Transport. Apply now and join a team that drives you to success. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. My name is Tim Cicerelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. If you wouldn't mind, when you hit your next stop, please follow or subscribe to this podcast from whichever podcast platform you're enjoying it from. We are everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible. If it's a platform with a podcast on it, we are there. And by following the podcast, you'll have a brand new episode waiting for you each and every week as soon as it's released. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave us a review. Tell us what you like about the show and what you'd like changed. We are producing this podcast for you to keep you educated, informed, and hopefully a little entertained as well. Welcome back to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. Tim Cicerelli here, otherwise known as Trucker Tim, and we are blessed to have Angela Horowitz take some time out of her busy schedule to talk to you, our friends on the other side of the speakers, about some very exciting new initiatives we have here at Stevens Transport. The first initiative we're going to talk about isn't really new, but it's a huge opportunity for anybody that's been on the road with Stevens Transport or with someone else, and that is becoming your own boss, your own business owner, to possibly build a fleet. And you might be thinking, I don't have any business experience, Trucker Tim. I don't know what to do. How would I handle the taxes? Blah, blah, blah. All the things that go into being your own boss. Well, Stevens Transport has a proven system to hold your hand through the entire process and really help you grow your business and provide for your family. Angela, let's talk a bit about becoming an independent contracted driver for Stevens Transport, soup to nuts. This is very exciting.
Well, thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. And I'm always excited to talk about our independent contractor division because that is the heart and soul. That is how Steve Aaron started his journey to build, one of the most dynamic, superior transportation companies in North America. And today we're living that dream. But it started small. It started with one truck, another truck, and then on to 2,000 plus today. So we have an incredible opportunity. We took that same formula for success, exactly the business model that we use to turn a profit on our assets, and we put it into a modular business training for those folks who have the ambition, have the drive, the dedication, the attitude and aptitude to want to move into owning their own business. It's not easy to own your own business, but the rewards are great, right? More work, more rewards. So working smarter and not necessarily harder. And you can be making potentially way more as a business owner than you are as a company driver. A lot of it rests with you and following the formula. But the formula is there. We have over almost 1,000 contractors today, and they're all homegrown. Every single driver in the division started out with no license, obtained a commercial license, came to Stevens Transport, got superior training, and launched their career and heard about this opportunity. It's a risk-free, turnkey opportunity. You don't have any credit check, no money down to go lease equipment to open up your business, no bank loans to finance your business. All you have to do is bring the sweat equity and follow the plan. And we have a built-in infrastructure that is proving it day in and day out that it is successful. We've paid out almost $1.5 million this year with more to come in lease completion bonuses. That's just a testament to what can be done if you choose to elevate your career and become an independent contractor. We are incredibly, incredibly proud of our small fleet owners. Some have 3 trucks, some have 5 trucks. I think one's up to 7 or 8 trucks. So if your goal is to build a small company and really double, triple, quadruple your income it can be done. These folks came to us 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, and they've built small fleets. And they have all the buying power, the discounts that are offered to, us network wide, whether it's parts, fuel, you name it, that we share all of those discounts with you. So on top of having, your own business support team where we sit down with you, we customize a business plan, we put you through an intensive business workshop, we teach you the business, and then we stick with you all the way through every day on your journey, making sure your business plan is working out and that you're successful. There's not another company in North America that's doing that. There's not another company investing in the infrastructure to basically build our competition, right? It's people ask sometimes, you are training your next competitor, and we say, well, we're really proud of that. You know what? If we put great people out there in the industry who follow the rules, the laws of the land, who can be successful, well, more power to it. So if you have any ambition and wanting to become an independent contractor by coming to Stevens Transport, we can put you on that journey. We can help you be successful. Another thing I'm super proud of, Tim, is over 90% of the folks that complete their lease take either the next step to purchase a truck, right? Become a true owner operator with in-house financing. Again, you complete a lease, you're guaranteed in-house financing at a very, very low rate that you can't find anywhere on the street. And now you're off to becoming a true owner operator. Or you may love the lease. It works for you. There's always upside and downside to ownership versus lease. And you might want to release a truck. But over 90% of the folks who complete their lease, 2 years, 3 years, are re-signing. And that's a testament to say, I get the support I need. I do excellent with income earning. I continue to grow financially stable. I continue to be able to provide for my family, do some of the things that I've wanted to do in life. And that is what feels so good every day. So I welcome anybody that has aspirations to please look into our contractor program, because it is definitely the best in the industry.
Indeed. And we will have a link in the episode notes for you to click to find out more information. But just to kind of reiterate and summarize what you said is earlier in this episode, you mentioned how another competitor, if somebody would, another trucking company trying to enter this industry right now, it's very challenging. There's a high barrier of entry, that you need a lot of capital. You got to compete against people like Stevens Transport, where this, if you're with Stevens Transport, I mean, as a business owner the last 21 years myself, I look at this program and gosh, what was I doing 20 years ago? I should have done this.
Lucrative. It's lucrative. I can promise you that. You can definitely retire.
Yes.
And retire well.
Well, Angela, I've interviewed drivers who have no college degree, who might have struggled working for another company, and then they stumbled across this at Stevens Transport, and now they're fleet owners, and they have a ton of money and freedom and the tax benefits. And some of the pushback one might have is, gosh, I don't know how to run my business. You mentioned, and not only are the business consultants you have helping these new potential contracted drivers getting started, it's ongoing. There's a consultant at no charge. You know how much business consultants are for any other industry? It's wonderful. So you've got consultants through the life of your business, no credit check. Who does that? I mean, it's just your equity is your work ethic.
Yes,
right? Your work ethic.
You said it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so
that's all you got to bring to the table.
And then the system is spelled out for you. I marvel every time I interview these drivers who we found the golden goose for those that want to be a business owner and grow their company through Stevens Transport. And we'll continue to talk about how to do this in episodes down the road, because it's an amazing program. It really is helping, small business owners, which is the lifeblood of the American economy.
And you're taking folks who never imagined this level of success. They never imagined taking home well over six figures. Take home.
Yeah, take home.
And, continuing to grow that. And it's really incredible with really, like you said, no formal education, no formal training other than your commercial driver's license. You found a company who was able to take that and accelerate it into something that you really didn't imagine or thought you were capable of. You have a support team here that believes in you, that supports you, that is right there along with you. Your business is their business, and they're not successful if you're not successful. So they have a tremendous amount of resources available to help every single person who says, I've never run a business. I don't know how to run a business. I'm new to transportation. I'm not sure I'm ready. Trust me, 900 other people said the same thing, and they're on their second, third, fourth lease, or they own multiple trucks. So come test it, try it. It's a risk-free turnkey. If it doesn't work for you, there's no risk in walking away from it and reapplying with the company. Like you said, it's the golden goose. It is a real gold nugget opportunity for those who want to try it.
It's a low barrier of entry and very easy to get started. You just got to follow the proven steps, and that's all there is to it. So for those of us who might be looking at how they can improve their family's lifestyle, 2026 is right around the corner. That's when people make new resolutions. Boy, wouldn't this be a life changer for you. Well, let's shift gears, pun totally intended here, Angela. Let's from becoming your own boss and independent contractor through Stevens Transport to something that benefits everybody under the Stevens Transport umbrella. If you work for Paragon or if you're inside the building on the corporate side or even a driver, this new initiative is really exciting. It's called Project Ascend. It's all in the name, and how everybody can benefit by participating in Project Ascend. And I mean everybody, no matter how small or large or tiny the idea could be. This initiative is intended to save Stevens Transport money, like you said, to run pretty thin, to stay lucrative. But there are huge initiatives to anybody who participates. So, Angela, tell us about Project Ascend and how everybody can benefit from this wonderful new program.
Tim, I'm really excited to talk about this. This is an initiative that we've never done in 45 years. As we continue to grow and be collaborative and, be transformative, we want everyone to participate in this great initiative. The president, Clay Aaron, as we're looking at the market and we're hearing from all of our competitors and we're looking at the public companies and how everybody's suffering. And look, our margins are down too, tremendously. So we already run lean and we're thinking, well, where else? Equipment costs aren't going to change. The cost of fuel, we don't have any control over, have no control over the cost of insurance. These terrible verdicts out there just keep driving up the price. Everything from tariffs to imports to the cost of parts and maintenance on this equipment and the cost of equipment. So as we look at all these costs rising, the President Clay Aaron came up with an idea to say, let's launch a global, Stevens Global initiative that gives everyone an opportunity to bring forward ideas of cost containment. Because in a market like this, and we always do it, and that's why we're successful, you've got to be eyes on costs. And when they're rising rapidly the way they are, and there's only so many controllables, and you're already controlling those controllables, then now we're reaching out to all of our folks and we're saying, hey, maybe you've got some ideas. You're on the front line, whether you're out there driving, whether you're on the front line taking, orders in from customers, tracking, tracing in the fuel department, accounting department, IT department, the Paragon diesel mechanical department. Everyone is seeing things and probably has ideas about, hey, I wonder if they could save money by doing it this way. Or I wonder if they've thought about doing this versus that. We want to hear those ideas. And we have put together a rewards program let me tell you, the rewards are big. We started out and we thought through these levels. And so the entry level point is if you save the company $20,000, you get a payout of $5,000. It goes all the way up to these different marks, 20, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 200, all the way up to $500,000 savings, because you'd be surprised, right? And you can earn $25,000 if you hit the maximum savings of 500,000. If you hit, somewhere in between, say it's 200,000, 300, it's somewhere around 15,000, but it starts at 5,000 and it pays out to 25,000. You can submit 2 ideas or 3 ideas or 4. You don't have to just submit one. So, you can receive multiple payouts, right? So it's a great opportunity. Get your thinking cap on. We want to pay out a lot of money and we want to save a lot of money. So thanks for allowing me to explain how the rewards work and what are the milestones to achieve it. This is an incredible opportunity for you to play a role in the cost containment initiative at Stevens Transport, because it's a global vision. It takes a village to get where we are today, to stay where we are, and to continue to go further. So we have launched it approximately 2 weeks ago, and it's already having dynamic results. We've had over 35 submissions just in the past 10 business days. They are some really incredible things that we wouldn't have potentially thought of. Let me just give you one example. We're spending $250,000 a year on printer ink.
Yeah.
First of all, what in the heck are we printing?
And do we even need to anymore in this digital world, right?
We have the new forest of Stevens Transport. So, it's just an old habit, right? Print, 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 print. Need to see it on paper versus a computer. Another thing is we have over 60 copy machines, and 15 of those are the large, big, giant copiers for mass copies. So why do we need all these little individual printers? I haven't even given you the cost of all the individual printers. So you're talking about this idea that could be a $300,000 cost savings for something like that as an idea. Because again, when you're operating at the executive level, sometimes your eyes aren't there. You're not on that ground seeing everything that you folks are seeing. So there's no idea that's a bad idea. The only bad idea is the one you didn't put forward. I encourage everyone to bring their ideas. You will hear from the committee. It's called the Strategic Savings Initiative Committee. And they're the ones that are vetting out all of the different ideas. They're looking, is it hard to implement, easy to implement? What's the cost to implement it? To make sure that there's a return on investment with the idea submission. And then you'll get feedback. They have assigned the folks on the committee as these ideas come in. They're assigned out to committee members to vet and then to communicate back with the individual that sent in the idea. So if it's under review, or if there was, the cost barrier to implementing that idea. Maybe you're so forward thinking that you're a couple of years ahead of where we are. If it's not possible today, or if it's a low level cost containment, that definitely is something we want to implement, but it's on the list. It's a lower priority. So again, it's great to involve everybody. I mean, we have some powerful, smart, important, high level thinking people at Stevens who see so much more than we see every day. And so we're excited to have their ideas. We're excited to have them participate, and we're excited to reward them for the success on the ideas that are implemented. The goal, you asked about the goal. Clay Aaron's goal and the company's goal is to save $10 million through Project Ascent. And so at the end of calendar year 2026, our goal is to have saved $10 million over the course of this program. We're off to a great start. We are almost just shy of $2 million.
Wow.
And those were some initiatives before we decided to open it up. And this committee was, strategizing on different ideas on how to, cost contain. So some of these ideas had already been in the works. But that's when we started running out of ideas. And we said, let's ask our people.
Yes.
Let's ask everyone else. And so now they're flowing in, like I said. Everybody's excited to participate. I know we're going to hit our goal. We're excited to do it. We're excited to reward all the folks who help us along the way. And it's actually really fun. Start to think about things a little differently.
So many things to look forward to with this initiative. So many benefits for everybody. A couple of things I'd like to point out before we wrap it up is that this is company-wide. Everybody, whether you're a company driver or a contracted driver, or like we said at the beginning, you're inside, on the corporate level or out there on the road. I love how you've instilled this program that allows everybody to feel a part of the team, everybody pulling on the same side of the rope. And then there's an incentive, a pretty substantial incentive. Now, what I really want to point out as I'm listening to you talk about these numbers, Angela, is someone might think, oh, my piddly little idea is not going to really put a dent in this. That's not true, because as Clay told me maybe about a year ago, he said, the wonderful thing, one of the many wonderful things about Stevens Transport is we're a big, small company, right? And family owned. Therefore, things can happen a bit quicker, not having to go through the whole corporate level, and a lot of a little makes a lot. So even if there's a little idea like printer ink, right? That was a wonderful example. No matter where you are, if you're out on the road or anywhere, you can go, gosh, you know what? Everybody has an opinion or an idea how to make things better. I mean, you're not going to hire somebody that's not a forward thinker. I know that about Stevens Transport. So we've got intelligent people everywhere that has this logo somewhere on, their clothes or where they work, right? So I would encourage everybody, and we're going to do a segment every single week here on the podcast about this, to keep trying to grease the wheels, give some ideas to people to keep this going, to hit that goal of $10 million, which sounds like it's going to be easy to pass long before the end of 2026. So congratulations to you and the leadership team for always coming up with ideas to make everybody feel a part of the family, to feel a part of a team, and not just taking their ideas and saying, thank you very much, now go back to your job. No. Thank you for your idea. And by the way, we're going to compensate you handsomely for being a part of the team. This is, in the 8 seasons that we've been doing this podcast, one of the most exciting things. And it is always a joy to see everybody level up every single year at Stevens Transport. So again, if you're new and you're researching where to maybe hitch your wagon to and become a part of a team, this should definitely kind of launch you over to our side. Come join the family. And for those of you that are a part of this team, as I always heard you say from the very beginning, instead of looking at how the grass is greener on the other side, water the grass that you're on right now. And that's exactly what you are doing. So this is fun. Thank you for your time, Angela. What a wonderful episode we had as we wrap up, season 8 here in the coming weeks, and 2025, exciting things to come in season 9 and in 2026. So happy holidays, Angela. And we'll be talking to you as we wrap up season 8 here in the next few weeks. And thanks again for letting us provide this podcast for all of our friends that have been with us for the last several years.
Thank you, Tim, and happy holiday to you and your family, and to all of you out there listening, and even the ones who aren't tuning in that need to tune in, because there's great information each week. There's new things to learn, to discover, new opportunities, new technologies, new regulations. It's informative, it's educational, it's entertaining, and we love meeting all of the guests on the show. So if you'd like to be a guest, we welcome you also to be a guest on the podcast. This is for everyone. It was created with the collaborative approach of bringing all of us together in one podcast and one big family and one big small company. So thanks a lot, Tim, and y'all be safe out there.
Well, there it is, episode 169. You might want to go back and listen again and again and really absorb all this information, because it is chock full of opportunities for you. Whether you're already a part of the Stevens Transport fleet as a driver or an employee, or you're thinking about hitching your wagon to Stevens Transport and joining the family. If you found this podcast because you're searching for a brand new career, please make sure you visit the episode notes. We will have phone numbers and every link possible for you to learn more about Stevens Transport and even schedule a call with one of our recruiters. All the information is in the episode notes. And like we said earlier, please follow or subscribe to this podcast from whichever platform you're enjoying it from, and share it with one of your fellow drivers. We sure would appreciate it. And finally, my name is Tim Cicerelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, be safe out there. And thanks for listening to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.